The world of video gaming has taken modern society by storm as technology has advanced over the years. Now, it is easy to say that video games have become one of the largest forms of entertainment. Along with that, comes an ever-expansive reaction from various communities, each with its own artistic influences. One such idea is the creepypastas that have flared up on the internet with the video game takeover. Creepypastas, in general, are usually fictional stories that have to do with an already existing idea in the real world, such as video games. People have been writing their own creepypastas over their favorite video games for a while now, and the best ones are spine-chilling, to say the least.
Here are 10 of the most nightmarish creepypastas that are sure to keep you up at night. Number 10. JVK1166Z. Especially, the Haunted Morrowind mod. It was rumored that an incompatible Morrowind mod that went by the name of JVK1166Z. Especially circulated around in a pretty small community somewhere around 2005. The game with this mod included had to be booted in DOSBox for it to work properly. Upon booting up the game, players would notice something off about it from the start. You constantly lose health no matter what, and the game already has its major characters killed off, so to add to the creepy factor, their corpses wouldn't vanish either. There's an extra dungeon as well, and NPCs would stop responding after a while, and sometimes, during the night, they'd gaze upwards and simply say, "Look at the sky." But perhaps the spookiest part of this story is that when you die, a new assassin monster would come up to your corpse and scream horrifyingly. Number 9. Sonic.exe. Few creepypastas have ended up becoming so popular that they've actually inspired people to make fan-made games emulating exactly what happens in the story. This is what happened to Sonic.exe, a story that started out as a somewhat badly written pasta that, to the writer's credit, had a pretty scary premise. A teenager who got his hands on heavily modified PC port of the 1991 Sonic the Hedgehog game described certain events in the game that are nothing short of horrifying. In these levels, it seems that Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik are running away from a deranged Sonic who inevitably catches up to them, leading them to their grim fates as disturbing pictures of Sonic flash on the screen. A classic creepypasta if there ever was one. Number 8. The Buried Alive model from Pokémon. Lavender Town is infamous for its creepy music and the story attached to it that has pretty much been told to death. This time, instead of talking about the same old tale, we'll mention a different story set in Lavender Town that is just as creepy, if not scarier. The original Pokémon games were rumored to have a hidden code regarding the Pokémon Tower boss. Originally, it was meant to be a decaying corpse with quite powerful Pokémon. If you managed to defeat this character, the game would freeze since there was no script set in place if victory was achieved. However, losing to this boss is a whole another story. A game over screen would appear, which is not supposed to happen in Pokémon, in case you weren't aware, and a sprite of the player character being dragged into the ground by the Buried Alive model could be seen. Number 7. NES Godzilla. This story revolves around another bootleg copy, this time for a Godzilla game. The person who received this bootleg had played Godzilla before on the NES before with a normal copy, and wanted to stoke his nostalgic heartstrings by reliving the experience all over again. However, he got way more than what he bargained for. Instead of a regular experience, the gamer's bootleg copy featured various instances and glimpses of images and events he was unfamiliar with, some of it being extremely creepy. The whole story is pretty long and chock full of these disturbing images, so if your need to sleep is not that strong, you can read the entire tale. Don't say we didn't warn you though. Number 6. The town of Tumbleweed in Red Dead Redemption is haunted. Red Dead Redemption is one of the finest console games to have been released during the 7th generation of video gaming. The Western setting is not exactly a hotbed for video games, but somehow Rockstar has managed to develop a game that has all the recognizable traits of the esteemed developer in this unusual setting. Rockstar is also famous for adding elements of a paranormal nature in their game. The most blatant one to date has been the mysterious stranger in Red Dead Redemption, but another odd thing in this game are the supposedly haunted town of Tumbleweed. The entire list is quite long and mostly rumors, but knowing Rockstar, it wouldn't be surprising if they included such an element in the game. Number 5. Super Mario 128. After the release of the GameCube, players were hoping fervently that Nintendo would release a fully fledged Mario game capable of taking full advantage of the current hardware. Unfortunately, only one game, Super Mario Sunshine, saw the light of day. The other title, named Super Mario 128, was released as a tech demo but never developed into a proper Mario title. However, According to some rumors, one person actually managed to get their hands on a copy of Super Mario 128, detailing the creepy events of the game. As always, Bowser has kidnapped Peach, and Mario is tasked with rescuing her. However, as the story progresses, it seems that the residents of the Mario universe have given up on the eponymous character, and soon Mario crashed down into a real-life city. He is subsequently stabbed and decapitated by realistic-looking Bowser, which is obviously the stuff of nightmares. Number 4. The Number Stations from Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was Bethesda's first foray into a world ravaged by the nuclear apocalypse. The game was pretty great, and gamers have picked apart at every nook and cranny of the series in order to figure out all the secrets of this brilliant game. One such secret that has been rumored to be in the game revolves around a particular radio station that says gibberish before providing a series of numbers that is apparently meant to represent the time and date for various real-life events. This gets rather creepy when you realize that one of these numbers happened to be the exact time of death of Gary Coleman, a death that occurred after the game was released, while another set of numbers predicted the BP oil spill. Number 3. The Legend of Herobrine. This may be one of the most well-known creepypastas out there, and many fans may not even know the story of Herobrine as a creepypasta, but rather a myth around the game Minecraft. Herobrine was apparently an entity that players would have rarely come across in their survival worlds, but only for a second. It is known to appear as Steve, but with glowing white eyes. The legend of Herobrine has reached excessive popularity to the point that even the developers of Minecraft have recognized it, unconfirmed it, and listed Herobrine as an Easter egg in patches. Number 2. Ben Drowned. As far as early creepypastas go, Ben Drowned is one of the more famous creepypastas that began in the earliest stages of the rise of video game creepypastas. Ben Drowned is a fictional creepypasta that branches off Nintendo's Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The game itself is already creepy, but this story takes it a step further when someone was able to grab hold of a copy of Majora's Mask at a local sale. After playing though, the player notices weird glitches in the game and eventually comes across a save file with the name, Ben Drowned. And our final creepypasta is Unknown Format, a creepypasta revolving around game ripping and pirating. This story is sure to give any pirate second thoughts when they decide to illegally download a game. The story speaks of a certain Japanese program that helped in facilitating this unhealthy practice. However, the games were ripped in .4 format, which led to some pretty creepy things in some games. So guys, that is it for today. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel.